Oh. Hello and welcome to another bright and shiny morning in Manchester. The weather seems to be alright today. I've only been out a little bit. Anyway, welcome to another Monday morning musing. Not a Wednesday morning musing as some people would have it. Not a Sunday. A Monday. So there you go. There I'm referring to go and watch Nerdy's stuff on a Sunday. Nerdopolis's ramblings on a Sunday, and I think Train Direct has been having a alternative universe for idiots competition. Anyway, there we go. Right then, so what am I going to talk about this week? I didn't do a musing last week, I was working. I was out and about on trains and elsewhere in the country last week, so I didn't get around to doing musing, but you will have seen, I did put a video up about what I'm actually doing, but there you go, which is going to form the basis of this this musing. As I've probably mentioned a few times over recent times, I'm setting up this solo campaign. I've been working on it for quite a while now, and it's all coming together. I'm enjoying it, it's good fun, and the cave's a bit of a mess at the moment because of all of the preparations that I'm doing. I'm surrounded by papers and boxes and bits and pieces that I've been getting together in order to get it underway. So yeah, it's all over the place at the minute. So I've done a list as I normally do. So I'll try and do something of some constructive sense. So like I say, campaign prep. I've been painting a lot of miniatures recently. I've not been doing any videos on them, but because, do you know what I mean? It's nothing special. It's just 15mm and 6mm DBA armies. I'm currently doing a Lydian army. As you know, I've still got my the rest of my Knights of St John army to do. Finished all of the Ancient Britons. What else have I got on the go? I bought a Succession Wars one last week, so that's an Alexandrian faction. The Alcatas, one of the generals. So that's a small little DBA army. All this is in preparation for the campaign because, as I've said, I'm building a world with lots of different armies and nations and stuff stolen from history, and I'm bunging them together in one sort of scenario, as it were. I'm going to see what happens. It's going to be fun. And in saying that, another thing that I've been doing a lot of is rules writing, or should I say, rule stealing. And I think it's a bit of a point, really. A lot of people tend to be of the mindset that, you know, you have it's not, no, okay, I need to rephrase this properly because I don't want to sound as if I'm dissing anybody, because I'm not at all. For example, we have the two types of rules, aren't there? There are mechanical rules and there are fluff driven rules. By mechanical rules, what I mean is, like, you know, DBA and that ilk of rule set, where basically it's there's no fluff involved because it's historic, and it is a mechanical operation of moving pieces around the board, entering into combat and doing combat resolution. Okay, so they're mechanical rules. Then you've got fluff driven rule systems, which are mechanical systems in exactly the same way. However, they're wrapped around with fluff. For that we have Warhammer. In a way, bolt action, because, you know, bolt action is a thematic set of rules. Flames of War is a thematic set of rules. They're based on a particular thing, and they are acting or actively seek to enable that particular period specifically with those particular troop types and stuff, and they're not flexible in any way, shape or form beyond that. So we've got all this thing, and for years I was trapped inside this sort of thing whereby if I wanted to play Hail Caesar, I've got to get the Hail Caesar rules, and I have to get the Hail Caesar miniatures, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. If I want to play Warhammer, I have to get the Warhammer rules, and I have to do this. And if I want to play a different type of fantasy game, I have to go and buy, say, Kings of War rules and play Kings of War rules with Kings of War miniatures. And I think a lot of people get trapped in that, and it becomes quite a, I don't know. It's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's good, but I'm finding it a bit much now. Keeping up. One of the things I find really difficult to keep up with was 40k, and I just dumped that completely because I couldn't keep up with it. It's just beyond me now. The financially and headspace wise, the constant rule changes, the constant miniature upgrades, the constant unit re-evaluations and stuff. It just becomes too much. So, as I'm old, I thought, I was going to swear then. As I'm old, I thought, forget it. What I'll do is I'll take the things that I like from various places, and I'll do all this myself. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying out different rule sets. Simple rule sets like the DBA one. I'm going on a lot about DBA but I am finding it really interesting because it's just so simple. You have 12 elements and you just have a battle. Obviously, in my campaign system, I'm modifying it. I just like the combat resolution aspect of it because it's very fast. I got Polymos from Bacchus as well. I haven't played that yet, but that's designed for 6mm specifically, really. So I shall probably use that. And I like the way in which it works. It seems to be. I like the troop allocation system in that. It seems to be quite nice. But once again, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know fully. But it looks quite interesting. And the armour generation seems quite flexible. Because it goes on the basis that, in history there were no even sides. There's no points value. So that'll be interesting to have a go at. But what I'm doing anyway is I'm getting around and there's bits and pieces of various rule systems that I'm cobbling together, and I'm modifying them for solo use. By what I mean is there's several articles about soloing and things, and various modifiers that you can do. There's a brilliant I got some really good stuff that I found that allows you to sort of build tables for saying, right, well, I've issued this command to this unit, okay, the commander of that unit is an idiot, okay, and therefore I shall roll on whether or not his unit actually does the rule, and you make a roll and it sort of, do they move or don't they move? Do you know what I mean? So in other words, what it actually gives you is a way of you as the general, because when you're playing a solo you've got to be both generals. You can't, do you know what I mean? And you've got to try and be not favour one side or the other. By imposing these random aspects to commands means that things are not going to go the way you actually hope they're going to go. So you're not going to move. Those cavalry are not going to charge into the side of those spears because the commander may screw up and he ends up falling short, even though he could have made the charge mathematically. It's those sort of things, which then give you a sort of random turnout to the battle. So the idea is that it evens out all of the opportunities for bias. Maybe. We don't know. I will find that out when I start testing my ideas later on in the year. So that's where I am with my rules. I've got other stuff that I'm doing because obviously we've got things to do with moving forces around the world and stuff. So it's quite difficult to sort of keep control of that without building maps and stuff, so that's the other thing that I'm doing. Which brings me on to maps. As you've probably seen if you've watched me on Google+, I'm doing a lot of map making at the moment. I did start doing it all on paper, as I said, and I was making, you know, paper hexes. You can see that. I don't think that'll show up, but I was making paper hexes and doing dice rolling to build the terrain and stuff. A lot of paper, so I've transferred all of that to the computer now, and I've built templates in Photoshop that I'm using to, you know, basically exactly the same, but rather than using paper, do the rolls in my little, I've got a box here, yeah, my rolls in my box with my dice, and it sort of tells me which mountains, what hills and stuff, so doing that. And I'm producing these little maps now. Obviously these are just tools. I'm doing it at this scale because it means that I can make the maps big or small, and that they all fit together lovely. I'm quite happy with how it's all turning out. So what I did for this, you see, is basically I created a few little map symbols in Photoshop, just drew like mountains and trees, and decided on some colours, and there you go. It's simple, keeping the same scale, you know, using a hex system, because hexes are nice, hexes work really well. The next thing I've got to do is I've got to make some counters, because obviously each unit will, or army or whatever, will be need a counter. I've got to work out how to do that, because I could be really overcomplicating things here, but it's all part of the fun, innit? You try something, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then do something else. So yeah, so that's the that's what I'm doing with there. I got a point here. It says, "Why bother?" Bit of a jerk there. Sorry, I'd forgotten to clean the SD card on my camera, so I ran out of disk space. So anyway, why bother? That's where we were. Why bothering? Why am I bothering? I answered that in a little way. Why am I bothering? Because A, it's fun and I'm enjoying it, and it's more of an eclectic sort of thing. It's not. For the last year, I've just been painting miniatures all the time, and I haven't been doing anything really else other than painting miniatures. So I thought I need to exercise my brain a bit and do some stuff. I used to do a lot of this when I used to do a lot of fancy role playing, game mastering, and all that sort of stuff. I used to do this all the time. I'd be forever making maps and coming up with histories and things of various places and regions, you know, for everybody else's pleasure. I'm doing it for mine now. But I love it. I absolutely am having a ball. Thinking of all of the histories and stuff of various places, and looking at how stealing bits from history as well. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody steals stuff from history, don't they? There's nothing new. It's just twisted. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it. It gives me an opportunity to sort of do stuff that I want to do. And not have to do stuff that I'm not going to say that other people want you to do, because that's not right. Doing stuff that other people are doing. Do you know what I mean? Not that I'm against that. Do you know what I mean? But I just want something that I can come down here and just do at my own pace. You know, just play a game at my own pace that I want to play, because I don't think there's a game out there really that I'm particularly going to fall over and die for. I just like it. I just love doing this. It's just really reawakened my my drive, because I was feeling a bit down about it all. I mean, after Christmas, I was like painted out with doing the Advent Day challenge, and it took me a while to get back into sort of doing it, and then I wasn't particularly enthusiastic about a lot of things. So this is reinvigorated my drive to get miniatures painted, to start collecting armies and doing this, that, and the other. So yeah, and plus doing it at a smaller scale. 15mm, 6mm is a lot cheaper. And I've made my counters as well. I've designed a load of counters for troop types and stuff for DBA, which can be used in anything else because it's all about frontages at this scale. It's all about your 4cm front and your unit sizes and stuff. So these counters that I'm doing, I can make loads of them, so I don't even have to have the miniatures in some instances to fight the gap, to actually fight the scenarios that I create. But anyway, I'm going off on tangents here. So why bother? Because it's fun and because I'm enjoying it. Don't worry, you'll get to know a lot more about it as time goes on, because I'll start to be doing more specific stuff about it. So if it floats your boat, you'll have plenty of things to watch. Yeah. Just a quick aside. Welcome to Liberator 240. Liberator 240 was it subscribed to my channel, and I sent him a message. And you say cheers, thanks for subscribing and all that. Well, when I did that, I don't think he had any videos, but I noticed that he's put a few videos up that are quite nice last week. What's going on here? Sorry, somebody loves me. So yeah, he's doing some Napoleonics, and he's done some nice Perrys and some Foundry Napoleonics. They look really well, so go and have a look at them. Liberator 240, I'll put a link to his channel in the doobly-doo below. Which brings me on to next week, or this next week. Well, as you can imagine, what I'm doing is carrying on doing what I'm doing. I invested at the weekend. I mean, I tried using, like I say, I was using paper to do my maps. I was using and then scanning it all in, and it was taking ages. I nicked my daughter's graphics tablet and had to go with that. I used to use a graphics tablet a lot, so I know what they're like. So I nicked my daughter's graphics tablet, and it was brilliant, but she wanted it back, so I couldn't use it. So I went and got myself a graphics tablet at the weekend, which is this beast, and it's great. Oh, I just switched it off. Let me turn it back on again. That's really good, and it's sort of revolutionised, because you can use it as a mouse as well, you see. So it's revolutionised my computer experience. So I'm going to be doing a lot more this week. My productivity in map making has actually gone up so much through using a graphics tablet. But I shall do a special video about making maps in Photoshop and on the computer and all that sort of stuff, because it's interesting, and may help somebody make some maps, because it's not as difficult as you think. It seriously isn't. So anyway, that's it for this week. That's this week's Muse over and done with, and I shall try and put some stuff up about what I'm doing over the week. No promises, but I might. Anyway, so thanks very much for watching, and keep on hobbying. Cheers, bye.